Welcome to the Journee Continues Podcast. Real voices, real recovery. Today we have Thomas. What's up, Thomas?
Hey, what's up, though?
What it do?
Chilling, just chilling.
Okay, good. So, Thomas, I'm glad that you accepted the invite.
Man, I'm glad you had me on here. That's what's up. I'm proud of you, man. I'm glad to see you growing, doing what you're doing. That's what's up.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, Thomas. Who is Thomas?
You know, when you ask somebody that question, for a lot of years when somebody would ask me that question, I really couldn't answer it. You know, and I don't think a lot of men today know how to answer that question because we just think we're providers and we say who we are is our external stuff, right? Today I know that I'm a person with some character and some morals. I live on the way I live my life. I'm somebody who lives off integrity by learning how to do the right thing for the right reason. I know my value as a man. I'm somebody who's compassionate, that's able to give grace, but also to be stern when need to be. Other than that, I think those, and I'm a man of God. I'm a man who trusts and believes in a higher power that's greater than myself that got me to where I'm at. So I'm just a servant of God, man. I'm just somebody who's trying to be a better person every day.
What brought you on the recovery journey?
I was addicted to crack cocaine for almost 25 years. I've tried recovery countless times. I've tried going in and out of treatments to the 12-step programs. But every time I would go, I still tried to do things the way that was most comfortable for me. And I found myself always going back out and using. What brought me here and what has kept me here is when I lost my baby sister. When I lost my baby sister, I realized that it wasn't the drugs and the alcohol that was my problem, that I was my problem. And I didn't want to be that person no more. I didn't want to be a person who was so self-consumed and self-centered and wanted to be an adult when it was convenient, but didn't want to be an adult when things like losing a baby sister, not wanting to be there for his brother and his mom because I wanted to run from the responsibility and the pain of that situation. So I'll let the grown-ups handle that. I'm going to go be a kid. I'm going to go use, right? I'm going to escape that reality to some false realities. And when she passed and I missed the opportunity to go say bye to her, something just clicked inside. Like, this ain't the drugs, bro. This is you. Like, this who you want to be. You want to be somebody who don't go say bye to his little sister before she passed. After your brother call and tell you that, you just gonna say, nah, I'm gonna go get high. Who is that? I ain't want to be that person no more. So that day I walked down to Eastwood treatment facility and I haven't looked back. But it wasn't my goal when I got sober, got clean this time, wasn't just to stay clean. My main goal was to change. See, my main goal this time, I was so sick of the person I was, I knew that change was needed. So I started seeking change immediately. That means whatever was uncomfortable I needed to do, I got me a sponsor and a mentor, and whatever they told me to do, I just did it. And every day I get up with the same mission. Yes, I got external stuff that I need to do and responsibilities, but my main responsibility is make sure that I'm growing on a daily basis, becoming the best version of myself that I can. If I do that, getting high don't even look appeasing to me no more. If I'm taking care of me and growing, then I don't even think about getting high. But if I stop doing those things, getting high don't look that bad no more.
Now, from knowing you, I know that your sister's death took a toll on you.
Mm-hmm.
Just from the conversations that we done had about your sister. Can you just describe where you were once you realized there's something wrong with me because you didn't go see your sister, to where you're at now, still dealing with that grief? Because sometimes we tend to blame ourselves, like, yeah, you should have did this and you should have did that. Why didn't you go see her? And we suffer with that. So
early, I don't suffer with the guilt of that anymore. Because I worked through it with my sponsor and my mentor. And I understand that at that point in my life, that's who I was. So I have to also, before I can forgive everybody else and seek forgiveness from everybody else, the first person I needed to forgive in this process was myself. I needed to forgive myself and give myself some grace and some room to grow. So the grief process I still have the grief process that goes on when it comes to my sister, my mom and dad. But it's different now because of the growth that I've obtained, right? I'm able to embrace the feeling instead of try to not. A lot of times when we going through grief, I know for me, it was like, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel that. So I do a whole bunch of stuff to escape it. So if I wake up one day and I'm missing my sister or my mom and my dad, I just allow myself to miss them. I allow myself to feel the pain. I allow myself to grieve it because I don't never want to not be able to do that. Because allowing myself to do that is allowing me to have a connection and a relationship with my sister who's no longer here. So I get up every day and one of the prayers I pray every day is, God, allow me to live a life that's pleasing to you and allow me to live a life that allows my sister, my mom, and my dad's spirit to live through me. Give me the grace to make sure that I do everything I need to do to allow them to live through me. When I do that, I got a goal for the day. I got a mission for the day. I got something on the front of my mind to say, you might want to do X, Y, Z. That ain't right. But you got my sister, my mom, and my dad on my mind. I can't do that because they can see everything now. I got to do the right thing. It just gives me an extra motivation. Yeah, it's been a learning process. Like, but I invite the days. I'd rather have more days of missing them than not thinking of them. So I'd rather have more days of missing them and crying about them and sometimes laughing about them to have a whole stretch of days where I don't.
What would you say to a man that's struggling with substance use? Um, so two questions. What would you say to a man who's suffering? As a man, only you can speak to the men. I can't. What would you say to them that's suffering with substance use and they really want to get clean?
I think for men, the first thing we need to understand is that drugs isn't the issue, right? It's easier to say drugs is the issue than to say I'm the issue. Um, and I think for men, we need to admit the fact that we hurt and that we're suffering in silence. A lot of the things that men do, like a lot of the things that the men are doing in the streets, and we do, it's because it's a child inside, a little boy child inside who needs to be loved on properly. That never maybe had the opportunity to understand his worth and who he is. A lot of us grew up thinking our worth is what kind of money we got, what kind of car we got, or whatever, what we can do, provide, whatever. The masculine, and that's not the case. A lot of men, if we want to get clean, first we have to take the step to address the physical addiction. But after addressing the physical addiction, that's when the work starts. That's when now you have to make yourself vulnerable. That's why all the tough man and the masculine, all that bull stuff that we was told all our life got to be laid aside so we can get down and touch that young man inside who's still suffering in silence. That person needs to heal. We need to allow that person to grow and even understand what a man looks like. We have to find some self-worth and not our self-worth based on what we have and what we drive or what girl we got on our arm. It's a healing process. People think and this is not a knock. You will go around the programs because we still have a disease if we're not using or not. Mm-hmm. But a lot of us think just because we clean, our disease isn't operating on us and stopping us from living to our full potential. So a lot of us are selling ourselves short because we still letting the disease consume us. You can see a lot of us are clean, but still trying to make up for who we are in so many other ways, who we really don't even know our worth still. That's why a lot of us spend a whole bunch of money on stuff. That's what, but I'm not going to go into all that. But I know for me, if a man getting clean is the easy part, staying clean is the hard part. And a lot of us don't stay clean because we don't want to accept the fact that it ain't the drugs, man. It's you. In our literature, it says in the first step, it says drugs is a symptom of my disease. Then if drug is a symptom, then what is my disease? How am I going to treat something I don't know what it is? So that's what I would suggest first. But first, go take the treatment, address the physical part. And after the physical part, now we have to start dealing with the spiritual and mental and emotional part of the disease.
Now I heard you. You said you have a sponsor for maybe someone who does not know what a sponsor is. What is a sponsor?
The simplistic answer and the only answer a sponsor job description is to help guide you to the 12 steps and 12 traditions. That's what a sponsor is. No more, no less. Now, when you find that person that helps you do that, there's a spiritual connection that takes place because of the spiritual program. A sponsor becomes more than my sponsor has become more than that. He's more of a mentor now. He's more of um, he's one of my mentors, almost an uncle father figure, somebody that I look up to. But when you're going to look for a sponsor, the only thing a sponsor is somebody that's going to help you with the 12 steps and 12 traditions. That's it. A lot of people want to find somebody they cool with, comfortable with, all that other kind of stuff. Or you got a nice Cadillac, or he got a nice car, or he share real good, or whatever. No, none of that matters. When you get a sponsor, you should ask. First question a person should ask when they ask them if somebody want to be their sponsor is, have you worked the 12 traditions and 12 steps with a sponsor? And if that person says no, then he's not ready to be your sponsor. But a connection takes place over the years that turns into something a lot more.
So today, what is Thomas doing? I done heard some stuff about you. What you doing, Thomas?
What you want to know about the personal life? Hey, check this out. Before I say that, I'm gonna share this. I'm on. Me and my wife go on a cruise, and I was just talking to my best friends, Paul and them, right? And I was telling them, like, sometimes I still feel like I'm an imposter in my own life, right? Sometimes I'm going through this stage in recovery now where I'm having a lot of wow moments, like, oh my God, this cannot be real. Is this really who I am? Is this really the life that I have? So me and my wife on this cruise, and first time I jet ski, like I'm jet skiing, like I'm going to buy some next week anyway, but I'm jet skiing and I'm on the Caribbean Sea and I'm jet skiing. And I just immediately bust out in uncontrollable tears, right? I'm just crying profusely. And I'm like, and as I'm crying, I'm saying, God, this is unreal. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. 7 years ago, I was sleeping up under the bridge on 8 Mile in Greenfield. Today, I'm on a Caribbean Sea riding jet skis with no desire to use any drugs and alcohol, with no desire to hurt nobody and do nothing wrong. So, in saying that, I'm able to live a life that's fulfilling. My personal life is good. But what I'm doing as far as my whole life now, I know for a fact I was only saved to help people like me. I have dedicated my life to helping people who suffer from the disease of addiction like I do. So I own Hunter House Recovery. It's a recovery house. Matter of fact, we're having our bonfire tomorrow, our third bonfire meeting. It's a recovery house for men. It's a recovery house that's culture is based on not just using and making meetings and staying clean, but okay, now that we're clean, what can I do to become whole? How can my vision in a short, my vision for when men leave my house, that not just are they clean, they're productive members of society, they're husbands again, they're good dads again, they're sons again. More importantly, they feel so good about who they are as men that they don't have a desire to hurt themselves no more. So I have the program centered around character building, spiritual healing, to be at Hunter House, you have to be productive. You can't just be clean and make meetings and pay your rent and think it's okay. You have to be working on said goals and doing everything you need to do in 2 years to make sure you leave where you never have to return to active addiction. So
I heard you say about the bonfire. Where's that located?
It's in Roseville. I don't know the exact address, but
But when you get it, I can put it in the comments.
Absolutely,
it's out like today.
Yeah, it's on Packer Street. More than everyone's welcome to dip. Again, you know me. I'm always unusual. I'm always thinking outside the box. Because not only is this disease affects us, it affects our family and everyone that loves us. So our bonfire meetings aren't just 12-step based for addicts. It's for your families, your spouses, your friends, anybody who wants to come and join in to the bonfire. I think fire at the bonfire to me is just healing. It's soothing. It's a peace about it. So it's about family and of course the addict, but family and whoever they want to bring, man, just to sit there and like we had one a couple weeks ago where some moms came and to hear them share their side of what they had to deal with their children suffering from addiction. It helped the person who suffered from substance abuse, and it also to hear that the moms hear their side. It was something that I couldn't have dreamed it could have worked out as best the way it did. So yeah.
We do a lot, period, in the community. Is there anything, any recommendation, anything that you would say to the audience who's struggling with substance use disorder, or who is in recovery and still don't know if this is what they really want to do?
Don't sell yourself short. I'm gonna say this, and this is not just for the newcomer. This is for all of us, right? Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times we've lived a life of learning how to survive, that we come into this process and not learn how to thrive. Because the advice I would give is that we have been given a second chance, third chance, fourth chance at a whole new life. Take advantage of it. Why hold yourself short? Why allow your disease to continue to dim your light? Like, we are here. You're here. The things that you're doing in the community, the things that you've been through. I believe all of us was saved from addiction so we can totally heal and remove all the ego, all the stuff, to allow something greater than us to work through us, to do what God is doing in your life, to help the people that you help, to do this podcast, all the things that you got going on. If you're doing it at 4, and it's like, and this is no knock, because I understand the disease of addiction. You got people with decades clean that's not they're productive because they can pay their bills and they drive nice cars and they got nice clothes on. But what are you pouring into someone else? What are you helping this community understand about the disease of addiction? So I would say take this opportunity. Don't sell yourself short. Don't put no cap on what God has for you. But be willing to do the work to get where you're going. A lot of people say, Thomas, you got this going. I work hard. I sacrifice a lot of stuff to have the life that I have. But it's all worth it because of where I come from. I don't believe I was spared from that just to come here and to get the life that I got, and then just say, man, I'm straight. I don't need Hunter. I'm gonna just let Hunter House be what it is. I'm not gonna sponsor nobody. I'm not gonna work with no people. I'm good. It's days that I think like that, and I know that's my disease saying, bro, do you? Because we're gonna touch people's lives. You're touching women's lives all the time. That giving them the opportunity to get away from this thing. Like, the devil, whoever you want to call it, don't want that to happen. So my advice was, don't sell yourself short. If I can do what I'm doing in 7 years, people can't tell me what they can't do. All you're doing is giving yourself an excuse. And an excuse is just telling yourself, no, I don't want to go through the difficult time and the hard work.
There it is. There it is.
There it is.
There it is. Thomas, great job. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
You just moved right through those questions.
Yeah. I hope y'all come to the bonfire, man.
Yeah. I hope so too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the information in the comment section. Also, I'm going to put Hunter's house information. Mm-hmm. You have beds and stuff?
Yeah, I got a couple beds left right now.
Okay.
I'm in the process of getting another house as we speak. Okay. So within the next month. But I think I'm still trying to decide if I want it to be a woman's house or not. But yeah, I have to, anything that I do when it comes to serve, I have to make sure that I can give quality care to the people that I'm servicing. Okay. So I have to make sure that I'm able to provide women with that care from other women. So it's just some things I'm thinking about.
Okay, sounds good. But I know that when you do put something together, you think it through.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Look at all angles.
Yeah,
I do know that about you.
Yeah.
With that being said, I'm going to drop his information, contact information, if you need to contact Thomas. Also, you said you were a sponsor.
Yeah.
Are you looking to bring on any sponsors?
I would have a conversation. Okay. And it would depend on, if I couldn't, I would find someone too. Because if again, I want to make sure.
I would have you as my sponsor.
You already are. I'm already am.
So, you always talking to me, right?
No, I'm not your sponsor. I'm your big brother, man.
Right.
But I think I would have the conversation, but because I would want to make sure that I can accurately help them.
Okay.
Right. But my days are so full. But if it's like, I got a sponsor now, man. I kept telling him, man, my life is busy. He's like, man, I don't want to hear that. He's like, listen, I need you to be my sponsor. I said, I'm gonna find you somebody else. He said, no, you ain't gonna find me nobody else, right? So he had that kind of tenacity. So he kind of locked me in a box. I couldn't say no. But yeah, I would definitely. I'm never gonna tell somebody completely no. I do have something to say about sponsorship. If you have a sponsor and you're less than a year clean, and your sponsor is telling you just make meetings and don't worry about working those steps, find you a new sponsor. The steps are the freedom to all the pain and suffering that we have endured over the years. They free us and give us a better perspective of why we live the lives that we live. If you are someone with multiple years clean and you telling people just don't use and make meetings, don't worry about no steps for the first year, we should stop saying that. What you're telling somebody is for the next year, without your drug of choice to cope with how you feel about yourself in life, and without no steps. Now just walk through the next year without nothing to help you cope about how you feel with yourself. That doesn't even make sense. So if you're somebody telling somebody that and you seeing this, you need to stop. Say what you want to say. I'm always rock the boat. I don't care about popularity. Don't make me. And if you somebody who has a sponsor that's telling you that, find you another sponsor. Now, I had to say that because I'm hearing that a lot. You hear that a lot around the program of people saying, just
I heard that.
That makes absolutely no sense. That makes no sense. That means you want me to wait a year and carry around all this self-hatred, all this hurt, all this pain, all this confusion in my mind about life, no relationship with a higher power. You want me to do this all 4 years so I can get in the thralls of sickness in a different form? And then, no, it makes no sense. I've heard that too many times this week.
Oh, wow.
So I had to say that.
Okay.
Yep.
So, as I told you, we close out with the serenity prayer.
Let's do it.
We're going to close out with that.
God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for the day.
Here we have it. Thomas, you did a great job.
Thank you.
Well voices, well recovery. Deuces. We'll see you soon.
Peace, y'all. Have a good day.